Keep It 100 is brought to you by the coronavirus, coming to a throat near you. La, 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 la. This is a quote from my haters. Yeah. You got me feeling like the greatest. Yeah. Bitch, I'm about to blow up. What's going on, world? Or nobody. Bitch, I'm about to blow up. Or most likely somewhere in between. My name is Casey Huckle, and I'm delivering to you Keep It 100. What is Keep It 100 about? Quotes. Yep, quotes. Meaning adages, truisms, figures of speech, expressions, sayings, lines, you name it. Yes, a group of words put together that are usually pithy, memorable, have meaning, sentiment. I would like to tell you that there has been a change to the show. Instead of trying to hustle 100 episodes and 100 quotes, one per episode, into a year, I've decided to extend it. I've made it about 50 quotes in a year. I didn't quite reach my deadline. Had some roadblocks in my life, but I'm going to keep on trucking and make it to 100, hopefully. I don't know. Just a healthier pace for me. I don't think of a couple quotes a week. I don't want to force anything. So I've extended the show to another year, approximately. So I hope you enjoy. Make sure you rate, review my show on iTunes if you can. Tell your friends, your grandmother, whoever. And without further ado, let's get started. Give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Greetings, quote fiends. This is Casey Huckle, coming to you live from my backyard. I wish I had a camera. I'd show you just we have a beautiful landscape at the pool in the backyard. It couldn't be a nicer day. 70 degrees, not a cloud to be seen. Maybe a little bit of one. Oh, but it's like 95% blue sky, if not more. But since this isn't a visual show, I'm just going to talk. Can't show you anything. So I'll give you the quote again. Give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Now, I had heard about this from this book that I was reading. I'm applying for virtual teaching jobs, and actually was rejected the other day, and I felt ashamed for a little while about it. But the interview process was of course, it was online. You know, we're on lockdown here because of the coronavirus. But so with the lockdown, I had to my interview required me to read a book, like a children's book, and I chose Give a Mouse a Cookie. And in reading about the book, I couldn't get it from the library, right? So I had to find a website with the words to the book, and I did. And on the website, it said it talked about basically referring to the moral of the story is related to the quote that I just gave you for this episode. The idea of the book, Give a Mouse a Cookie, is, and this is a very dependent cookie. I mean, a mouse, dependent on things like a cookie, sheets in a blanket, or a blanket and a pillow for a nap. You have to give him a glass of milk because he's thirsty after eating the cookie. And so the idea from what I was reading was the idea of the quote. So you want to teach, you want to spend time. Time is the most valuable commodity we have. because you can't have it back. Once you lose it, it never stops. So if you give someone your time and teach someone, in this case it's how to fish, which might be a biblical, there's a lot about fishing in the Bible from what I remember reading about Jesus. If you teach someone how to fish, they're on their own, they're independent. That's much more valuable than giving someone money, or giving them a fish in this case, or giving the mouse a cookie, or a glass of milk, or your crayon to draw with. The idea for the book, Give a Mouse a Cookie, is you want to teach that mouse how to do all those things. So the literal interpretation is that the author of the book just gave the mouse all these things, but it's not covered in the book. You know how whether the author taught this mouse these things, you know, how to take care of himself. So that's what the episode is about. And I'm thinking of in ways and how it applies to my life. I'm 32 now, and I wouldn't say a lot more independent. I'm not financially independent. I'm not emotionally independent yet. I'm not where I want to be. But I at least know how to do all these things on my own. Growing up, my dad did almost everything for me, from, I don't know, changing a tire. Maybe he taught me how to download back in the 90s. Maybe how to dial up internet on AOL. I'm trying to think of other things that are 90s related to the 90s. On all these father-son things. These are like, I don't know, how to change a tire, how to ride a bike. How to ride a bike is a good example. I mean, I learned how to ride a bike. But if he just gave me a bike and walked away, I would have been screwed. But like I was saying about, why I brought up my age, 32, there's still some things that I need to learn, like how to do my taxes. What's another thing? Like I had an issue with my insurance. My insurance isn't paying for CR Tucson, where I went last year. And in the past, maybe a year or two ago, I would have went right. My instinct would have been like, oh, let me ask my dad how to do this. But now I'm becoming self-sufficient, and I know, like, I'm growing. I know I could do these things on my own. So the idea is that, like, maybe at 35, I'll be able to. I won't need him at all anymore. I still need him, but it's starting to decrease my dependency on him. So I am no longer the mouse. I'm more like the cat, if you will. And so, yeah, that's the idea I want to get, the theme I want to get through to you is you'll be much happier if you're more emotionally, try to be emotionally stable, independent, and financially independent. That's what maturation and growth is all about. So that's how I got on the quote. The quote, there's arguments about its origin. Could be a proverb, could be from the Bible. There's a lot of paraphrasing from the quote. I mean, my quote might not even be perfect, but a lot of debate about where it came from and how it goes. So I won't get into that because I don't have an answer for you. But just know that growth is all about independence, and that's really what you should be striving for in your 20s. So I'll tell you one more time before I go. And I really just like the quote. I mean, I've learned over and over again about, like, that's pretty much the premise of life's journey, is like, how do you grow up? How do you come of age? Give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish, feed them for a lifetime. It expresses the importance of teaching. So that's my wisdom for the day. This is episode 50, so I'm halfway through. There's an applause from me. Give myself a pat on the back. And I'll see you next time. Later. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me get some pimping in it. Casey here. Just wanted to plug my Twitter, my Instagram, and my website. My Twitter is at Keep100Podcast. My Instagram is at KeepIt100Pod. My website is KeepIt100Pod.com. And 100 is the number 100. All right. Hope to catch y'all next time. Peace.